What's up? It's your boy Reemus, and welcome to the ChampSet podcast, the podcast for champions. Today, we're going to be talking about waking up early, why it's important, and how to do it in the right way, the ChampSet way. So, today I woke up at about 4:40 a.m., and currently, as I'm recording this, it's about 5:30. So, I woke up at 4:40 a.m., but I only slept for like 4 hours. And when I got up, I said, I'm really tired. So, it makes sense I should just go back to bed. So, but after about 20 minutes, it just didn't happen. It wasn't happening. It just didn't happen. So, at this point, what the old me would do, what most people do, what challengers do, is they would just sit there or lie there for hours trying to go to sleep, even though they're seeing it's not working. Now, after getting inspired and learning what it takes to be a champion from reading the many boxing biographies that I have, now my mindset is different. Now my mindset is totally different. So at that point, what I do now is I just get up. Okay, my body's telling me I can't go to sleep. All right, I guess it's time to wake up. I guess it's time to do something, because certainly I am not lying here for hours doing nothing. No champion does that. No champion just lies there for hours thinking about nothing. So I had to get up, because I'm no challenger. I'm a champion of life. ChampSet means progressing all of the time. So my question is to you: what would you do in that situation? If you got When you get up at, let's say, 4 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever it is, and you're tired, but you can't get to sleep, what do you do? Do you lay there for like 3 hours, right? Or turn on the TV and watch bullshit? Or do you get up and go train? And it's not that I'm not saying that you definitely should be up at that time to train, although it can be definitely good sometimes. But certainly, if you cannot sleep, you should be out, because it should be natural to you. You should be thinking and obsessing about boxing so much that if a chance like that comes up, that's what you look at it as. You look at it as an opportunity. So my recommendation to you is this: the next time that happens, right? Don't fight against the wave. Just get up, go for a run, get up. Or you can get up, watch boxing instead. Don't scroll on Instagram for 2 hours until you can go back to sleep. Get up, put on Robinson versus Carmen Basilio. Put on Wilfred Benitez. Put on Mike Tyson. Put on Larry Holmes. Put on Anthony Joshua. Put on Lomachenko. Put on whoever you want to put on, but put something on. And this point is making that all time should be used effectively, no matter what's going on. And where you don't think you can make progress, you usually can. And it's a good thing that you don't spot it straight away, because it means that not everyone is doing it. And if not everyone is doing it, that is where you make the difference. So then also comes a second part to this. So that's utilizing the time, right, of when you happen to wake up early. And it might even seem insignificant to you, but that type of mindset to have is important. Anyway, the second part of this is how to wake up early if you're intentionally trying to. Now, it's important to wake up early, because like what you'll find when you study the boxing biographies is this: every champion, or most of them, the vast majority of them, would wake up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m., get up, do their run, sometimes early morning workout. Mike Tyson used to come back, he used to go back to sleep, and then he would get up earlier, work out again. You might be working a day job, right? So you might have to wake up early. It might make more sense to you to wake up early because you don't have that much time, because you're giving up 8 hours a day to work. But people who have dreams and when they want to do stuff, and they say to me shit like, "Oh, yeah, but I don't have enough time." You actually do have enough time. Like one of my friends, he was saying to me, "I don't have enough time to do this. I'm just trying to do this and that, but I just don't have the time." Right? And I said, "Well, why don't you go bed later?" He said, "Yeah, I'm tired then." I said, "Okay, that's fair enough. So why don't you wake up earlier?" And he didn't say anything. He said, because I could, he knew what I was saying, and he knew I was right. I said, why didn't you wake up earlier? And there was a bit of a pause. And then I answered for him. I said, you're, I know you're not answering this because you just don't want to wake up early. You don't want to wake up early, but if you're not willing to wake up early for your craft to get extra hours in, I don't know if that's the craft for you because I don't know if you love it. You should see it as a blessing to have more hours to do what you want to do. So if you struggle, right, to see why you should, maybe it's okay to struggle in the moment of getting up. Your body's tired. That is okay. But if you struggle to see in your mind, right, why you shouldn't, no, why you should get up, then there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong. That doesn't make any sense. You should be willing and wanting to get up. But anyway, from a technical perspective, that's how you can get more hours. So if you do have a day job, if you do have kids, if you do um have other needs that you have to fulfill in the day, and it's like things that you have to do. All right, now I just told you how to get more time. Go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. Get more time in, right? And don't waste time when you get up. Now here's an actual technique, right, to help you with the tiredness of when you are getting up. So it's something I call seeding checkpoints. Seeding checkpoints is this concept of basically you have one task to do, but I'm proposing that you break it up into small checkpoints that are easier to meet. And every time you meet the checkpoint, it has like a domino effect. It's actually easier to knock down the next one. It has momentum. And so let me break this down. So let's say you want to get up and you want to go for a run at 5 a.m., right? And you have to wake up at 4:45 to make this happen, which is pretty early. Maybe you went to bed at, I don't know, 9:45. It doesn't really matter, but you went to bed when you went to bed. Waking up at 4:45, 5 is hard to do. It's fair. That's fully fair enough, right? There's nothing wrong with finding that hard. But now let's think of a way to tackle this to now make it easier. Now, if you say in your mind, all right, cool, I'm gonna wake up 4:45, go for a run 6 miles, and then boom, I'm done. You've just taken that's one task. But to do that one task is monumental when the feelings start to come through that tell you, this is long, I don't want to do it. So when you get up at 4:45, now what do you tell yourself? You tell yourself, I gotta get up and I gotta go for a run. I gotta go for a long 6 mile run. You've told your mind in that moment. The night before, it didn't seem like that big of a task. But in that moment where your feelings don't want to do it, now it's a bigger task. Now it's hard to do, right? So then your mind it doesn't have the motivation to do that big task. It says, just 5 more minutes in bed, just 5 more minutes in bed. That 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes, that 10 minutes turns into sleep. All of a sudden, you haven't gone for a run in the morning now. You missed out on your morning workout. You said you was a champ. You thought you had ChampSet, but you missed out on your morning workout. Boom. All right, cool. It happens. Now, now, now let's actually make sure it doesn't happen again. So you see checkpoints. You break up that big activity into smaller activities. And this is how you do this. From the night before, right? You get your gear ready. You get your training gear ready. You get your shoes ready. And this is what you do. You put your shoes by the door. Then you get your training gear, all of it. You get the shorts you're gonna wear, or the trousers you're gonna wear. You're gonna get the hoodie or the t-shirt you're gonna wear. Everything that's required. You're gonna even get your socks, right? And then you're gonna make it easier in the morning for you to now put that on, for it to be ready. So now you don't have to, because doing that one big activity and you haven't prepared for it now requires that you get up, you get this stuff ready. Now you have to get your shoes. Now you have to get your clothes. Now you have to do this. Now you have to do that. But if you do it before, now you don't have to do it. So there's less effort required in the morning. So you get your clothes ready and you put it by your bedside, right? Or close to your bedside for when you're getting up. So boom, you've already checked something off. You've checked something off the night before. It's taken care of. Less effort for your mind. You put your shoes by the door. You can even put your socks in your shoes, right? Another checkpoint met. Something off the list ticked before you've even woken up, before the day has even come. The next step is obviously go to sleep. No, no, no. Before you go to sleep. And this is what I call the water waking technique. Now you take a bottle of water, you fill it a little bit, just like for a few sips. And when you go to bed, you leave it by your pillow. Leave it as close by to your bedside as you can. If you have a drawer, if you have a desk, leave it there. But it has to be within arm's reach. Now you go to bed, you set the alarm. Obviously, that's important. If you're the type to get up and be tired, set snooze. That makes sense. So you get up at 4:50. Let's say you get up at 4:50. Now this is what you do. You meet the next checkpoint. It's not get up. I gotta get up and get a run. You've gotta just get up. No, break it down even more. You've gotta just sit up. So the first thing you do is you just sit up. Now you're sitting up. You've met a next checkpoint. That didn't take much effort to get to the next checkpoint. You've broken it down. Now we just have to meet the next checkpoint. And it has to be something small too. So you just sit up. And what this does, it gradually wakes your body up, but it makes it harder for you to fall asleep. We're gradually making it harder for you to fall asleep. So you sit up. Now you take the water and you sip it as soon as you can. This triggers your body, right? It's what I call a cue, a trigger cue. It triggers your body, right, to get ready. It triggers your body to say, okay, we're getting up now, because your digestive system is now going to start going into play on some manner. So your inner body is starting to wake up. Maybe your mind, is still tired, but your body is now starting to wake up. Checkpoint met. That's a trigger that's a cue, a trigger cue for your mind to now wake up. Hasn't happened, but it's a cue. It's going to happen. And your intention is to just not lie back down. So now you sit to the edge of your bed. Boom, next checkpoint met. Now you stand up. Next checkpoint met. You've broken it down. Now you stretch. Now when you stretch, your blood's gonna start flowing. So stretch straight away, and it has to be light. Just make it light. Now your blood is starting to flow. Now you can actually do the proper stretches, and by this time you'll actually be more. You'll be you'll be awake by this time. It'll be much easier for you. You might even still be tired in your mind, but everything is set out so that there's less effort. Go put your clothes on. It's right next to you. You don't have to go look for it. You've lessened the effort. Put the clothes on. The shoes are by the door. You don't have to look for them. Put the shoes on, walk out the house. The next step is just walk out the house. That's it. Even if it takes you just walk for 5 minutes before you wake up, boom, just walk. Now you're ready to run. Done. You've broken down one monumental task. Well, it was monumental to the task, to the mind in the morning when you're tired. You've broken it down, boom, 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 into easily meetable checkpoints. And you've done the same thing. You've completed a task, and it required less mental effort. And then the other things about being able to wake up early is, if you eat proper, it makes it easier. If you eat good food, it makes you less lethargic. So if you're eating good, you know, have a regular bedtime. Don't be going to bed at irregular times unless that's you, right? Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. Have a routine, and your body's gonna get used to. Um, your body's gonna get used to your body's gonna have a schedule, because your body has a body clock, and now all it has to do is abide by that. Mike Tyson used to say that after 6 years of doing the same thing, he doesn't need an alarm anymore. He used to just wake. This is when he was really fucking focused, and he used to just wake up at 4:50. Challenge yourself to shake things up in training. If you haven't been waking up early, just try it. How do you know? You might, you don't know something until you've tried it. It could be the best thing in the world. So your next step is to just literally just try it. Try it for a month, try it for 30 days. Who knows? Maybe you feel better because you're putting in more effort, which will happen. I know it will happen. And maybe you feel physically better because it actually disciplining yourself to put in more work, put in more time. It's just about pushing yourself. Keep pushing the boundaries, and don't settle for what the limitations of what your body is telling you. Even what your mind will tell you, instinct will tell you. That's ChampSet. ChampSet is just instinct, champion's instinct, and it will tell you what you need to do. The one other thing to say is that even though waking up early in the morning is important, it's also important to consider that waking up in the morning isn't important for the sake of waking up. It's not the fact that waking up makes you a better fighter and that's just it. It's more about using the hours effectively, or just increasing the hours, increasing the amount of hours that you're working out and progressing. That's the reason why waking up helps. It's not that waking up helps. It's that waking up early to get more hours in helps. So let's use an example. Say, for example, you have two fighters, and I've used this example before. Some may have heard it, but you have two fighters, and one of the fighters he wakes up at 5 a.m. So yeah, he's kind of dedicated because he's going to the idea of what a lot of fighters do and a lot of champions do. So he wakes up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., or whatever, and he gets his workout in, and he trains for 2 hours. He trains from 5 to 7. And then he goes about his day. He doesn't do anything at all to do with boxing, but he did put in that bit of work before maybe he went to actually go to his day job or whatever it is. And then later in the day, he goes to the gym for an hour, or let's just say an hour and a half. So, an average session for a lot of people, right? So in that day, he's putting 3.5 hours of work, of progress. And he was the one that woke up early. And on the other hand, you have another fighter who he didn't wake up early at all. He woke up at maybe 9 or 10. So regular. But let's say that fighter got up, and when he did get up, he trained for 2 hour, 2.5 hours. So it took him from, 9 to about 11:30. And then let's say he has a lunch break or whatever, and he watches boxing, he reads boxing. And then let's say that at 3:30 to 5:30 he does another gym workout, a circuit workout. Boom. That's it. And then he goes about his day, and then maybe he does another late night workout, and trains from 8 to 10. Now, that guy put more hours in. So even though the other guy woke up earlier, that doesn't make him the fighter. The only benefit to that is that he might say to himself, well, I'm waking up early, so I must be more dedicated. He's going to say to himself, if I woke up early, I must be more dedicated than the other guy. But he missed the point, because it's not about, it will mentally help to some extent, it will. But what will help more is if you feel like you put in more hours than the other guy, because that in the end is the more effort. Do you get what I'm saying? So don't get caught up in thinking to yourself, let me just wake up for the sake of waking up, and that puts me on the path to being a great fighter. No, it's the amount of hours, and the point of waking up early is to try to add and increase the amount of hours that you're given to boxing. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, that was a fucking mouthful, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. Quality over quantity, but obviously if you can add quantity to your quality, then that's the best thing. These are concepts, not I don't have this specifically in automatic ambition, but I do have the concept of having being able to practically put in place what you want to do in boxing, being able to practically set up your life in a way that is in the way that you want it to be, to get you good results. If you're on iTunes, leave a good review because it will help out. And that's it from me. So stay focused, champ. Let's get ChampSet.